Will I know? Give me a minute. Right, namaste everyone. Welcome to Hindi University. Really excited to have all of you this Sunday. As you know, my name is Ashutosh, and we meet every Sunday 8 a.m. US Pacific time, which is time on the west coast of the US, to learn about the Hindi language. As you know, today is the time savings. We spring forward. So the class may be an hour early for a lot of you who are outside the US, and the country may not observe the daylight savings. But so it's always like an adjustment whenever we are in the middle of March every year and in November as well. Okay. For those of you who are new to Hindi University, you can learn more about us by going to our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Hindi University. You can also go to our website, which is hindiuniversity.org, and find out all the details about how you can interact with everyone in the class. It's a little bit of information for you about about HU and how you can join the Sunday classes. All you need is a willingness to learn, and you can use the Zoom link to join the Sunday sessions. If you missed any of the previous classes, you can see the recording on Facebook, which is facebook.com/Hindi101, or you can go to the YouTube channel. We also have an enrollment page, which is this one. So you can click on it and join the WhatsApp community. Will ask you some basic questions and will let you into the private discussions. So it's a little bit of administrative stuff. As you know, this year we've been following two books. First one is Pingu Learns Hindi, which is the book by HU, Hindi University itself. The second one we are following is the book by Michael Shapiro, Professor Michael Shapiro, which is the primer of the modern standard Hindi. We are pretty much following the same structure that Professor Michael Shapiro, he kind of goes from one topic to another topic, and without meddling through it, I am giving more explanation on the topics, but at least the theme is pretty consistent, like the way he is approaching the grammatical topics, parts of speech. We are following this exact same sort of flow to see how it will benefit everyone. Okay. With that in mind, the classes are pretty interactive. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. You can unmute yourself and ask the questions, or you can use the Zoom chat as well. Today's goal is we will be starting with chapter number 8 of the Professor Michael Shapiro book, which is we will be going over Hindi verbs. Okay, we'll be going over Hindi verbs. I know a lot of people are joining at different sort of phases, so I'm going to just give a quick recap, right? I mean, so far, we discussed, we learned about nouns, right? I mean, so we started with that, about for example, a person, place, or a thing, right? I mean, we spoke about that, right? Then we spoke about if you want to say the difference between hai and hai, we went over that as well, right? I mean, so if you want to say Ron is a boy, right, you would say Ron ladka hai. Okay, Ron ladka hai. So Ron, we learned about noun as well, and then we went over the difference between masculine and feminine. Right? So if it is a ladka, it's a lot of them are ending with a. If it is a girl, it's Sarah, and then we say ladki hai. Right? So we discussed that. We learned about the importance of the post positions, and we covered about a few post positions about ka, ke, and ki. So if Ron is the son of Jason, then you will say Ron Jason ka ladka hai. Right? So we discussed that as well in the previous classes. We learned about some adjectives as well. Okay, if Ron is an elder son of Jason, we learned about Ron Jason ka bada ladka hai. Okay, or Sarah Jason ki badi ladki hai. So I'm going to write it down as well, just so that.
Sorry, Ashuji.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ashuji. Can you share this whiteboard?
Yes, I'm going to.
It's very far. Yes.
Yeah, I figured that. So just to kind of a recap, I'm glad you told me, because I was just going to go over the slide. So just to kind of a recap, when we started, it was very, very simple, right? You learned about the basic nouns, right? I mean, so you were Ron, you were ladka, and you start with like, Ron ladka hai. Ron is a boy. Ron ek ladka hai. We learned about the difference between hai and hai. Okay. Then we also learned about the post position in which you want to say Ron Jason का लड़का है. Okay, Jason का लड़का is Jason's boy or Jason's son. Okay, Ron है, Ron is Jason's son. Ron Jason का लड़का है. Same thing if you want to say for Sarah, Sarah Jason की लड़की और बेटी है. Right, so we learned about the importance of using post positions. We covered the oblique cases as well. Okay, we covered oblique cases about how the use of post positions impact some of the Hindi grammatical structure. Okay, and so we discussed that as well. And so example would be if Ron Jason Ron, okay, if I were to add it here, Ron Jason, give me 1 minute. Okay, I'm going to just first go over the adjectives basically. So which we kind of like, if you want to add adjective here, we learned about like how you can give the flavor, and you can say Ron Jason का बड़ा लड़का है, which is the elder boy. So we just added bada here and to give you the flavor of adjective. And same thing here, Sarah Jason की छोटी लड़की है. Right? Sarah is the younger daughter of Jason. So when in the previous class, when we were talking about adjectives, you remember how we mentioned that ladka, it's basically deciding whether you will say bada or badi. Because it's a masculine, you will say bada, and because this is feminine, you will say choti ladki hai. Right? So far, we've covered a lot of grammatical topics, but the important one, which is the backbone of learning any language, is the Hindi verbs. Because in so far, all of these sentences, the verb that you see is hai or hai, which is the auxiliary verb. We have not really learned any action verbs. So the goal for today's class is all the basic sentences that we've learned, we'll try to add action verbs on them. Okay. So I'm going to give some slides and then we'll dig into the practice sessions around those. So what are Hindi verbs then? Okay. These are your grammatical concepts or words that describes an action, state, or occurrences such as like to eat, to play, to think, okay, to swim, to sing. Okay, these are describing your expressing an action or a state. Okay, these are essential for forming any kind of like sentences or conveying the meaning of it. And I give you some examples of that as well. And without that, you cannot really make any meaningful sentences. You can do the basic stuff which has auxiliary verbs, but then you will need a good understanding of the action verbs there. Okay, and because you all represent international, like a group of international students, and you master in a lot of other languages, I'm going to give some similarity about how you should think about it, about the Hindi verbs. Okay, give me 1 minute. I'm going to erase it. And so when you think about English language, and I'm going to stop. So when you think about English language, again, I'm going to take the same example, Ron and Sarah. Right? In English, you have Ron sings, and same thing, Sarah sings as well. And if you want to say they both sing, you will say they sing. So based on the number, your verb is conjugating differently, right? I mean, you know, um, for third person plural, you are saying sing versus, singular, you are saying sings. Hindi uses something similar, so you will see that the Hindi verb, when they're getting conjugated, it also factors into, like, who is saying it. Okay, so just like, you have the verbs are, gendered basically. So when you want to say he walks, वह चलता है, or she walks, you will say वह चलती है. So the verb is chalna, which is to walk. But how, when you're using it for he or she, in English it is always walks though. Okay, but in Hindi, because it's the two different genders are saying it, there is a slight change there. So for masculine singular, you will use chalta. For feminine singular, you will say chalti. We'll go into a lot of details and practice, but this is just so that it follows something similar as you have in Hebrew, right? Which is like for he walks, you will say that hu holek. I'm hoping I'm saying it correctly. Versus if you see, it's changing for feminine singular. So in Hindi, we'll have something similar. Okay. In Hindi, also the auxiliary verbs, right? I mean, where you have, Ron ladka hai and वह student था. Okay, so the change in auxiliary verb is sort of telling you which is the present versus the past tense. Hai is implying its present tense, tha is implying the past tense. Just like in English, you have is, Ron is a boy, okay, he was a student. So is and was is sort of giving you the notion of whether it is a present tense or a past tense. So something similar happens in Hindi as well. Okay, you have more examples. Am eating and I was eating. Okay, some more sort of parallels. Mostly we'll be learning about the verbs in the infinitive form, right? I mean, so I'm going to give you a list of all the most commonly used Hindi verbs like chalna, khana, bolna, sona, nachna, dekhna, and you'll notice that all of them are ending with the na sound. Okay, which is sort of like the to go, to sing, verbs in that particular manner. And when you're trying to make the sentences in different grammatical contexts, different tenses, you will have to identify the root form of the verb. Okay, and then you will change it based on how you're using it, right? So an example is like when you want to say I speak, right? The verb is bolna, you will remove the na and you will say मैं बोलता हूँ. Okay, just like in French, where the verb to speak is parler, but like when you are saying it, I speak, you will conjugate the verb, the to speak, to the equivalent parler, right? So in Hindi we'll have the something similar. In English, like you will say I speak, and it's the same for a boy and a girl, but in Hindi it's different. You don't have to memorize it right away. These are just like sort of like a high level building blocks. As we go into the rules, you will get more and more better with that. Any questions so far for the high level sort of the parallels we have seen? You want to share anything with your language? How does it work? Unaji, how does it work with Croatian language?
Hi, namaste. So in Croatian, you have the conjugation, but it doesn't change according to gender. So if I speak, sorry, if he speaks, on govori, and if she speaks, ona govori. So yeah, that's it. It
What
seems
about
simpler
like
actually now.
that's simpler? What about like if we are speaking? Is it something
Then it's conjugating according to the account. So
I
mi
say?
govorimo.
Mm.
Vi govorite, oni govore.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, awesome. Okay, so the fourth one I have is like your number agreement. As Munaji mentioned, like, it's like you वह जाता है in English is he goes. In and वह जाती है is she goes basically, right? I mean, and then if the group is saying वे जाते हैं, right? So, and I think Marwaji, do we have you there?
Yes.
Right? How will you say it like in Arabic? How help me here?
Oh, okay. Happy to see Arabic in HU community actually. Uh, هو يذهب هم يذهبون.
Okay, so when you're saying this one, it's he goes, and when we say hum, they go, it's like actually hum,
هم يذهبون in Arabic.
right? So it's changing based on the numbers or the count. Okay, so something similar to what you have it in Arabic and many other languages. Okay, so these are sort of your high level parallels from, so you can really see just like how the languages sort of differ, right? I'm going to take a quick pause. I know I'm sort of going slightly fast here, so if you have any questions, this is a good time to kind of like have any discussions before we dig into to all the rules and practice more. So if you have any questions, feel free to sort of to ask or share any reflections. Good so far, everyone? Wonderful. Right. So I'll keep going then. So a list of verbs, we will go slowly. You will have to have homework exercise of memorizing, you don't have to memorize all of it. Some of it will come as we practice, but at least the top 20 or 30 verbs, I definitely, would like you to memorize it, so that way it'll be easier for you to sort of like, to use them on a day-to-day basis, and you don't have to really reflect back to your notebook. Okay. For all practical purposes, I'm going to be using some of them more frequently, just so that it's learning is slightly easier than that. Right? So we'll go some of it. So for example, to buy is kharidna. To cook is pakana, and all of these are the verbs in the infinitive form, in which they're ending with na at the end. Okay. To cry is rona, to dance is nachna. Okay. Now, if you notice it, one thing you want to learn is what is the root of all of these verbs. Okay. Michael G, what is the root of the verb?
So for the first one, it would be ho,
Mm-hmm.
and the second one, kharid,
Okay.
and paka,
Mm-hmm.
and ro,
Okay. What are you doing is you're removing the na,
na.
right? You're removing the na, and the rest of the part is your root of the verb, right? And that's very important for you to sort of like get comfortable. First one is, as you learn the verbs, you will be learning them in the infinitive form. As you know about the infinitive form, then the next thing is what is the root of the verb. So as Michael G mentioned, is ho, kharid, paka, ro, nach, kar, pi, and then to eat is khana, so you have a kha. To fly is udna, so then you have ud. To give is dena, so it's de. Okay, I'll practice a little bit more of it, because I don't expect you to just memorize all the verbs and the meaning right away. So the first part of this thing is really getting comfortable with the infinitive form. The second is to do the practice of the root. Caroline G, what is the root of this verb? I want you to read this one and then tell the root. To jump is
To jump is could,
udna. Okay.
kudna,
And
and the
base,
root is could.
very good, wonderful. Okay. KTG, why don't you do the next two?
Jana, to know, so the root would be ja.
Okay, so it's we've written it in Romanagari. to know is, maybe if you can read Devanagari, it'll be easier for you.
I can't, I'm afraid.
So it's split it out.
Jan, na.
Very good. One more time.
Sorry?
One more time. One more time. Yeah.
Oh, Jan, na.
Janana. Very good. And so the root would be
Jan.
very good, right? To know is Janana, and the root is just the part Jan. Okay. Sunny unmute yourself.
To laugh is hasna, and the root word is has. To learn is sikna, and the root word is sik.
Beautiful. Okay. Let's do some more. Josh, next two.
To make banana,
Mm-hmm.
a root would be bana.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
Banan, yeah. To read padna, the root would be pad.
Yeah. So this banana is exactly like the fruit banana, but it's which means like to make. Okay. Ben.
To see would be digna,
Mm-hmm.
and to sit,
To sit is
besna,
beautiful. Batna. And what is the root for both?
dig and bit.
Beautiful. Okay. Sharanji.
Sona to sleep, and the root is so.
Okay. One more. Let's do one more.
Bolna to speak, the root is bowl.
Very good. Okay. Madhavendra Puriji.
To swim is sterna, and the root is there.
Okay. One more.
To take lena, and the root is le.
Okay. Wonderful. JDG.
To think is sochna,
Mhm.
and the root is soch.
Mm-hmm.
To touch is chuna, and the root is chu.
Beautiful. Okay. Mia, you do the next two.
To travel is kumna, so the root will be kum.
Mm-hmm.
To understand is samajna, so the root would be samaj.
Beautiful. Okay. Sri Ramji.
To walk is chalna, and the root word is chal.
Okay.
And to want is chahna, and the root word is chah.
Wonderful.
To wash
Sebastian.
is
Yeah, it's okay. Good. Sebastian ji.
Yes, to wash, toner, and to would be the root. And to write, likna, and lik would be the root.
Okay. It's going to take you guys some time to memorize it. And the point of this exercise is not to kind of slow you down, but at least you listen to how everyone is sort of, doing the pronunciation, right? That's also equally important, right? So, you can watch the recording again. The same list is provided in Pingu and Hindi as well. So this one is an essential one. Like this will definitely expand your sort of like, speaking skills substantially, at least if you learn start with this list. Okay. Anyone else would like to share more verbs that we have not covered so far? You can write them in the Zoom chat and I can read it out. So any verb you may have heard of, and then the verb and the root of it. Okay, very good.
Can I ask?
Yes, please.
What's the difference between shell and pedal?
Which one?
I was taught pedal for walking.
Oh, chalna or pedal. So you're saying pedal versus?
Chalna.
Okay. Who would like to give the difference? Which one is a verb and which one is not a verb?
Pedal is not.
Pedal is what?
That's on its own, it's not a verb. You need something else with it, I think.
On feet, yeah. So this is on feet sort of, and chalna is to walk. So essentially, if you want to use it with the verb, you'll say pedal chalna. Okay. So if you want to say I'm walking on feet, मैं. First one is like you say मैं चल रहा हूँ. Okay. And if you want to say I'm walking on feet, I mean it's a repetitive thing in a way, but you say मैं पैदल चल रहा हूँ. Okay. मैं पैदल चल रहा हूँ. Okay. A pedal is, it's like, for example, chalna can also be used for movie chal rahi hai, right? The movie is running, or the a film is running, but you will not say the movie pedal chal rahi hai, right? It's so pedal chalna is purely used in the context of I am walking, to in the context of walk. But chalna in general can be used in other places as well. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Right. So the first exercise, as I say, is to sort of memorize the verbs that we have and figure out the root of it. Okay. Now I'm gonna keep building on it. So if you recall, in the previous classes we learned the base structure. Okay. And I hope most of you remember the base structure, because that's where we will try to fit in the verbs. Okay. So let's go over the base structure. We have some more new folks, so I'm going to ask, let's see who has not had a chance. Give me 1 minute here. Michael G, you want to go over this pattern? First line.
I is मैं. I am is मैं हूँ.
Beautiful. मैं हूँ. Okay. Let's do one more.
यह or वह is he, she, it. And वह है is he, she, is.
Wonderful, right? So beautiful. So वह है and यह as he is and she is. Okay. Let's do some more. KTG, you want to do the next two?
Hum and then hum hai. Aap hai.
Beautiful, right? So again, the ending is slightly different. You can see the nasalized hai. Hum hai is we are. Aap hai is you are. Okay. Yes, wonderful. Miyaji, you want to do the last one?
They is ye or ve. So ve hai.
Yeah. So they are is ve hai. Okay. They are is ve hai. Okay. Now what I'll do is so I hope you all at least remember this pattern. So for me, for I am would be मैं हूँ. For he and she is वह है. For we are is हम हैं. For you are is आप हैं. And for they are is वे हैं. Okay.
Ashuji?
Yes.
How come you don't have tum ho on there?
Yes, because I wanted to keep it simple in the beginning. Okay. So I thought I'll just keep the formal you up. And once you have that, then we can go over the informal and the semi-formal you as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
But good observation there. Yeah. I'm gonna mute. There's some background noise. All right. So we'll start with. So if you notice it, just like how we initially were talking about the introduction, you were using the same pattern. Like when we started with the first one, मैं हूँ. Just with that, if you recall, Michael G and all of you gave your introduction. Like मैं student हूँ, मैं Michael हूँ, मैं American हूँ, मैं language learner हूँ. Okay. You spoke about your hobbies as well. Like मैं runner whom, so multiple things. You spoke about the relationship, like my father who or my grandfather whom, all of that just with the man whom pattern. But notice we don't have the verbs yet, we only have the auxiliary verb, right? So if you want to take the one of the verb, which is basically, let's say you want to use to walk. To walk, Unaji, remember what is to walk?
Is it chalna?
Yeah, there you go, chalna. And what is the root of the verb?
Chal.
Yeah, beautiful. Right, so root is chal. So from chalna, we just take this part, chal. Okay, so when you want to use this one, for this one, may and whom, for masculine singular, what you take is you take chal and you put next to it ta. Repeat it or read it out, Unaji.
So मैं चलता हूँ.
Okay, what does it mean?
I am walking if I'm a man.
So it is the
No?
Yeah, so almost there. So this is the indefinite form of the verb, so which means I walk. I walk.
Yeah, sorry, I walk. Yes, correct.
Yeah. I walk. We will do I am walking as well, which is what you said. Okay.
Yeah.
मैं चलता हूँ is I walk. Once again, to walk is chalna. To walk is chalna. But you will not say मैं चलना हूँ. Okay, you will not say that. You will say मैं चलता हूँ, which is basically, so the verb is getting conjugated based on who is saying it. If I am saying it, मैं चलता हूँ. If Unaji is saying it for feminine singular, it would be, you will have the root and next to it you will put T. So how will you say it now, Unaji, for you?
मैं चलती हूँ.
Beautiful. I walk. मैं चलती हूँ. I hope everyone is following it, right? So now, if I want to change it from chalna to eat is khana. To eat is khana. How will you say, I eat samosa?
Are you asking me or somebody else? So मैं खाता हूँ or मैं खाती हूँ.
Okay, how will you say it for yourself? And let's say you eat any favorite dish of yours.
मैं समोसा खाती हूँ.
Beautiful. मैं समोसा खाती हूँ. Okay, and Bill, how will you say it for your case?
In Croatian.
Yeah.
Ja jedem samosa.
Okay, wonderful. Okay. And Bill, how will you say it?
And?
Bill, I'm asking one more.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Unmute yourself, Billji. Let me see if I can ask you to unmute. If you need more time, that's totally okay. Yes, all right, go ahead.
माफ कीजिए. मैं रसगुल्ला खाता हूँ.
Beautiful. मैं रसगुल्ला खाता हूँ. Okay. Rasgulla is like a dessert or a sweet. मैं रसगुल्ला खाता हूँ. Okay. Let's keep going. And instead of to eat, let's say you have to drink. And Keith G, what is to drink?
So to drink is pina.
Beautiful. Pina. How will you say that?
So I would say me pita hu.
Okay. You want to say a drink or what do you prefer?
Okay, so I could say me beer pita hu.
Okay, or if you were to drink a coffee, it would be?
I could say me coffee pita hu.
Beautiful, right? And if you prefer a particular type of a coffee, you can say that as well, right?
Yeah, so I could say make cappuccino pita hu.
Beautiful, मैं cappuccino पीता हूँ. So I hope everyone is following it, right? So I'm going to do is because it's the first exercise for me, at least the new group, like going over the verb, and you may not remember all of it. You may not have memorized it, right? So I'm going to go over the list I shared with you again, and I want you to practice at least getting used to this pattern. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the screen, the slides again. Slides are better for me in that sense that I don't have to write it down. Okay, so this is the list for you. Okay, I want you to scan the list again and at least make some sentences, because now you know the मैं हूँ pattern. Okay, but think about yourself. What will you say it? Okay, and I want you to write it down on Zoom chat. So I'm going to give you some time to scan this list, and you can say I learned Hindi. Okay, or if you make something, you can you can say that as well, right? I mean, I make banana bread. Right, so I'm going to give you guys some time so you can look at it and write it in the Zoom chat. And while we are waiting, how are we doing on the cricket front? Nandini ji, is it close?
We're doing quite well.
Okay.
4 down.
4 wickets, oh my goodness.
That's all. And it's easy.
4
Looking
is a
easy now.
lot, though, right? I mean, I get nervous.
No. The nervousness is gone. It was very nervous in the last 10 hours or so. It's more stable now. They'll do it. Very
You think
stable.
so? You think so?
Yes. 53 runs of 56 balls.
Close.
And 2 stable batsmen. So
All right, so let's see, how are we doing it? Okay, wonderful. I see good number of you. Okay, Josh, you want to say? Josh, ji?
Yes. Hello. Me Devanagari Padtehu.
Okay, so for मैं it would be remove. What is the root?
Pad.
Yes, and then what do? You remove the na and you put
Padta.
Beautiful. So you will say मैं. Yeah,
Me
beautiful.
Devanagari Padtahu.
Beautiful. मैं देवनागरी पढ़ता हूँ. Awesome. Keith?
Hi, I could say may pizza kata hu,
Beautiful.
which is
Pizza
the one I put in chat.
No, I want you. Yeah, I'm just going over it. मैं pizza खाता हूँ. Same thing. Mike from Fremont.
नमस्ते अभी मैं जिम में व्यायाम रहा हूँ.
Okay. कर रहा हूँ. Okay. If you are doing gymming or exercising it, you will say that. Okay. Mia ji?
मैं रोटी बनाती हूँ.
Okay. I make roti would be मैं रोटी बनाती हूँ. Beautiful. Let's see who else. Katie ji?
मैं कुत्ता देखती हूँ.
Okay. Or as you wrote it down, मैं केक बनाती हूँ. Beautiful.
I think that's wrong. Is that right? Banati.
It's correct. मैं केक बनाती हूँ. I mean, verb is exactly correct. If you want to say, bake करती हूँ, that's a different one. Like you can always say that, right? Bake करना, right? To bake. So we will learn about that as well, because a lot of time you can do the root from the English, like to bake, right? I mean, it's, if you want to be precise, you can do that as well, right? I mean, for example, he was saying to exercise, like, and if you're not able to come up with how do I say to exercise in Hindi, you can say exercise karna or homework karna, right? All right, Caroline ji, take any simple verb. Okay, very simple. Just read it out and I'll help you out. Let's say this one.
I have मैं नाचती हूँ.
मैं नाचती हूँ. Beautiful. मैं नाचती हूँ would be I dance.
Like
Okay.
dance. I dance.
I dance. Wonderful. Okay. Okay. Sunny ji. You have to unmute yourself, Sunny ji.
To jump, kudna. So मैं खिड़की से कूदता हूँ.
Oh my goodness, don't do that. I jump. So he using a post position also, right? We will go there as well, right? So you will use it a post position. Wonderful. So I hope everyone is following it. Anyone else would like to try it out? Anyone who hasn't had a chance?
मैं नहीं जानता हूँ.
Okay. मैं नहीं जानता हूँ. Beautiful. What does it mean?
I don't know.
I don't know, right? Because to know is janana, right? And how do you say I know?
मैं जानता हूँ.
Beautiful. मैं जानता हूँ would be I know. मैं नहीं जानता हूँ or I do not know would be मैं, as you said, मैं नहीं जानता हूँ. Right? Anyone else?
I just wanted to try the
Yeah.
udna
Uh-huh.
because I'm not sure how you pronounce it. So I would say मैं उड़ती हूँ, but then I don't know if you pronounce उड़ती or उड़ती.
So you say उड़ती, उड़ती. मैं उड़ती हूँ.
Okay, उड़. Okay.
Yes. Not the r sound, but the d sound. D as in David.
Okay.
David sound. Okay, David. मैं देती. Okay.
Thank
Beautiful.
you.
Awesome. Wayne, you want to try?
Sorry. मैं सीखता हूँ.
मैं सीखता हूँ. Okay. आप क्या सीखते हैं? What do you learn or what do you study? If I were to ask you, Wayne ji again.
Oh, मैं सीखता हिंदी हूँ.
Okay. मैं हिंदी सीखता हूँ. Beautiful. Okay. Wonderful. मैं हिंदी सीखता हूँ. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing, and we'll go back to this thing. So far so good. Like मैं, you learned about the मैं part. Okay. I'm going to remove it. And I'm going to follow the same order that we had it in the list. So far we've done it for मैं, and if you go back to the list, we have he or she or it. Okay. Same thing here we have वह है. So same thing you have, the pattern was वह है. You will use the same verb conjugation for he and she as well. Okay, so if you want to say he walks, it will be the same thing. You remove the na and you put ta. So you will say वह चलता है. Okay, and for a girl it would be वह चलती है. Okay, and if he drinks coffee, you say वह कॉफी पीता है. And if she drinks a chai or a tea, वह चाय पीती है. Okay, if he sings, वह गाता है. Okay, if he sings classical, वह क्लासिकल गाने गाता है और वो क्लासिकल गाने गाती है. Right? If he learns Spanish, वो स्पेनिश सीखता है. And if she learns Japanese, वह जापानीज सीखती है. Right? Same thing. The difference is like with मैं it's whom, but the conjugation is working similarly, like exactly same. Like for masculine singular ka, for feminine singular ti. So this is exactly same. Yeah. Any questions?
Can I ask? Yeah, I have a quick question. When you listen to Hindi speakers speaking, they never use the word veh, they say veh. So,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
So, yeah, say, go ahead, finish your thought.
So I'm saying that this is grammatical, but Hindi speakers don't speak grammatically.
That's right. Like in, colloquially, people will, grammatically you will see veh, but colloquially people will be like wo, which can be used for like, both singular and plural. Like wo ja rahe hain versus wo ja raha hai. Right? So it almost sounds like you hear it like wo. Right? So, but like grammatically this is correct. And if you want to be more casual, because like when you're speaking more, this can come across formally. Right? That you're so but you get used to it. And to me, I think it's okay to stick with veh. It's totally fine.
Can I ask if you could just pronounce in Hindi the verb to read?
Yeah, right. To read is you want to say pad na. Pad, and this is the d is a David sound. The d, not r. Like a lot of times initially when you're learning Hindi, you default to the r sound. Pad na. It's a d. So you twist your tongue and touch it on the top. Padna.
Padna.
Yeah, beautiful. Padna.
Okay, sorry, I got confused because when I was trying Duolingo, I think it was saying like me kitabe parti hum with R, but maybe I'm remembering wrong, and that's why I was confused.
It is quite possible that you're remembering wrong. It's not the R sound. It's
Okay, super.
Padna.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions so far? I hope I'm not going too fast. Okay, so yeah, and one good suggestion is like you can use some of the AI tools, like to kind of like to practice the pronunciation as well. All right, so I'll go back to now the sequence that we have. Okay, now we have we are, which is hum hai, you are is aap hai, and they are is ve hai. Right? How does it work for them? Like if you have similar structure, right? So what you do here is the conjugation will be slightly different. So far we have chalna. So you remove the na and you put ta, ti, and this one would be te. Okay, so if they are walking, you will say ve chalte hain. Okay, same thing. You want to say we walk would be hum chalte hain. Okay, and you walk would be aap chalte hain. Okay, ve chalte hain, they walk. We walk is hum chalte hain. You walk is aap chalte hain. Okay, same thing. हम खाते हैं, वे खाते हैं, आप पिज्जा नहीं खाते हैं, you do not eat pizza. Okay, वे मूवी देखते हैं, okay, हम मूवी नहीं देखते हैं, क्या आप मूवी देखते हैं? We will go over that in the next class, but like the interrogative one. Do you watch movie? Like क्या आप movie देखते हैं? In this class, I just wanted to get used to just the basic conjugation, that removing na and putting ta, ti, and te based on who is saying it. Yeah. All right. So, any questions so far? All right. So what we'll do is we'll do exercise on it one. Okay. So I'm going to go back to the verb list that we covered, and I want you to use it with different pronoun, not necessarily with just main. Okay, and I'm gonna give you some time to scan it, and this time you can type it as well, but I think it'll be good to kind of you to speak it out as well. Yeah, and that will be a good exercise. Should we do this one? Let's do this one. It's easier. Right, KTG?
Up, up gum. Sorry, I've lost my. Up gumnehe.
What is the word?
Gumna, travel.
Okay. And what is the root?
Gum.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
sorry,
then,
up gumtehe.
beautiful. Aap
Sorry, I
ghumte.
wasn't concentrating properly.
Yeah, no, it's good, it's good. Aap ghumte hai. And if you do not travel, would be?
Up, gumte nahi hai.
Beautiful. Okay. And I don't know if you recall, we put kya at the beginning. It's like asking a question. Okay. And if you want to ask someone, do you travel?
Kya aap gumte hai?
Beautiful. Kya aap ghumte hain? Okay. Which is, do you travel? So it's similar. It's exactly same as like aap ghumte hain. You're just putting kya at the beginning. Okay. We'll do it again. But this is just like because you are on the flow. Josh, take any verb and any pronoun.
Okay. They terte hai.
Beautiful. वे तैरते हैं. What does it mean?
They swim.
Yeah. You remember the post position in?
They may.
Yeah. And you want to say?
They terte hai may lake.
Okay. So remember the post position. It comes after.
Yeah.
So you said lake, right?
Yeah. So in lake. So they terte may lake hai.
Okay. Almost there. So in lake would be?
Lake mein.
Yeah. So
वे तैरते हैं lake में.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. वे तैरते हैं lake में और या वे lake में तैरते हैं. Hindi is
Lake में
flexible.
तैरते हैं.
Yeah, Hindi is flexible.
Lake
Yes.
में तैरते हैं. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to wrap my head around that.
So let's do some more. Okay, Michael ji, take anything. Yes, Michael Onusko ji, unmute yourself. If you need more time, that's totally fine. But, yeah.
हम भारत घूमते हैं.
हम भारत घूमते हैं. We travel. Okay, in India would be?
हिंदी भारत से. No, भारत में.
हम भारत में घूमते हैं. Very good, very good. We travel in India. Beautiful. Or you can say हम भारत घूमते हैं as well. Okay. Shannon ji. Oh, sorry, Sharon ji.
Sorry, I got sidetracked. What would you like me to do?
Take any verb, take any pronoun, and because you are intermediate and above, you can make a fancy sentence or longer sentence.
Oh, आप कपड़े धोने हैं. She washes clothes.
Okay, so verb is dhona.
धोते हैं.
Beautiful. Okay. You want to now ask the question: do you wash your clothes in the washing machine?
क्या आप वॉशिंग मशीन में धोते हैं? कपड़े धोते हैं?
Yeah, beautiful. क्या आप washing machine में कपड़े धोते हैं? So you see how she used the post position में. In the washing machine would be washing machine में. Right? She could have simply said क्या आप धोते हैं? Okay? क्या आप कपड़े धोते हैं? Right? क्या आप washing machine में कपड़े धोते हैं? Right? Right. Danai ji, sorry, I'm probably not saying your name correctly again.
No, that's correct. That's correct.
Yeah. Try, take any verb.
Okay, I'll use the want, chahna. So I would say हम हम चाहते हैं
Okay, okay. हम चाहते हैं. Okay. So you want to say you want you can make it is an interesting one. Let's say you can we'll come back to it, but you can make many sentences with that. Like you want is good, like आप चाहते हैं. But let's say you want to say you want to travel. Okay. To travel is really the infinitive form, which is the ending with the now only, right? So if I want to say, yeah.
So if we want to say we want to travel, so it would be, I'll try. हम घूमना चाहते हैं.
There you go. हम घूमना चाहते हैं. This is slightly intermediate and above, but you did pretty good job. Like हम तैरना चाहते हैं, हम बोलना चाहते हैं, right? हम समझना चाहते हैं, right? So you can use pretty much the to be form or the infinitive form of the verb here and just use it as it is. Wonderful, right? While I have you, because I didn't get a chance, take another one and make a sentence.
Which one? To think, सोचना. So आप सोचते हैं. You
Beautiful.
think.
Okay. Okay. You want to say, do you think a lot?
आप बहुत सोचते हैं.
Okay. Okay. You can use it as a question when you're saying it. You can put क्या at the beginning.
क्या आप बहुत सोचते हैं?
Yeah. Beautiful. क्या बहुत? So do you think a lot? Okay. Ben.
क्या आप हिंदी समझते हैं?
Okay. क्या आप हिंदी समझते हैं? Beautiful. Do you understand Hindi? Yeah. What else? And make one more.
I don't know.
You can use this one. It'll be easier. More variety.
आप क्या खरीदना चाहता हूँ?
Oh, beautiful. आप क्या खरीदना चाहते हैं? What does it mean?
What do you want to buy?
Okay, what do you want to buy? क्या खरीदना चाहते हैं? Okay, awesome. All right. So what I'll do, I know we are slightly at the time, so I'm going to just finish this exercise. And at least we have done the basic verb conjugation for the present indefinite tense, right? And my hope is that by the end of this class, you'll remember at least all the patterns that we have, which is मैं हूँ, and then वह है, and then हम, आप, and वे. At least you'll remember that, and you'll remember the basic verb conjugation. The homework exercise for you would be, if you have Pingu Learns Hindi, memorize all the verbs that we have, at least from that chapter, the verb chapter. Okay, because that's very important. Like, there is I can help you memorize the pattern during the class, but some of the side things, you can help me with the memorization. Right? So, right. So this is the exercise directly from Pingu Learns Hindi. I want you to look at the verbs and finish these sentences. Yeah. So we'll start with you, JDG. You're there, JDG.
What was that?
Start with this one, the first one.
Pizza. खाते हैं.
Beautiful. खाते हैं. Okay. Sharon ji, you do the next one.
वह गाना गाता है.
Okay, because this is a girl, it would be.
Okay, वह गाना गाती है.
वह गाना गाती है. Okay. Bill.
आप I'm sorry. I was trying to find this in the book.
Okay, no problem. Take your time. You have a TV and the verb is dekhna.
आप TV देखता हूँ.
Dekhte.
है.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Dekhte hain. Okay. Marwaji, you do the next one.
Okay. तुम किताब पढ़ते हो.
Okay, we've not done it. So, you know, this is really for intermediate plus. We'll do next one, which is Keith.
You want me to do this? Number 5?
No, Keith,
Okay.
Keith is doing it.
Me? Okay, so number 5 would be Main pani pita hu.
Beautiful. मैं पानी पीता हूँ. Okay. Okay, and then we have one more. Caroline ji, why don't you do this one?
वे फुटबॉल खेलते हैं.
Beautiful. वे फुटबॉल खेलते हैं. So it was not hard. It feels hard, but it was easy. Right? So a lot of time we just take unnecessary pressure, right? So more than what we should, right? So you did a great job there. All right. So I know we are right on time, so I'll wrap up the class. I'll take any final questions, and we have Kelly ji also join. So as I mentioned, like, you know, we have a public WhatsApp group which is only for enrollment, and that's about it. Like, you just enroll yourself into there. This is not for the major discussion, but if you have any trouble, if you've never attended the classes, you know, I use that only for enrollment purposes. And once you are there, you join the Sunday class, we move you to the private WhatsApp group, okay? And then you can leave the public one, because then you are already part of the HU practice groups, etc. And then, you know, you are more motivated, you know, you can be in Discord as well, right? Which is sort of where we help you. Discord is, you know, it requires some help, like for some people, right? So so we help you with Discord as well, so that you are familiar with all the practice sessions, how you can get engaged, etc. I'll take questions and then introductions of the new people, and then Kelly ji will help if anyone has any trouble with Discord. So I'm going to stop the broadcast, and then so that way it's only like for the class. So for folks who watched it live, thank you so much for joining. And as I said, like, it's a bit of an adjustment time after the daylight savings, but the class is still at 8 a.m. You know, so I'll see you next Sunday for people who are watching live.